What's going on, everybody? Been wanting to make this video for a long time. I had some people DM me, comment. I had some people reply on my Ask Question Fit poll earlier in the week, but I wanted to do a video explaining everything that I have inside my camera case. So this is my what's in my camera bag camera case 2025. So start off, my backup camera. Well, officially my backup camera is my wonderful A7R4. I have two of these. I have two A7R4s, I know. So a little backstory is that I actually ran Canon since I first started in 2014. So 2014 when I first started, I had a Canon T3i, which is the wonderful camera that you see here tattooed on me, getting abducted by a UFO. It was my first camera. It's the camera that I had for about 2 years, I want to say. And I had that camera for about 3 years. So I totally milked the capability of the T3i for a long time. And then I got into a 60D, and then I got into a 6D, and then a 5D Mark III at the time, a 5D Mark III, and then a 5D Mark IV. And then at that time when the pandemic happened, I kind of wanted to get the Canon R5. That was like the first mirrorless, but it was delayed. It was delayed for like 15, 16 months. So I was like, yeah, I'm not waiting. I'm gonna jump the gun, and I ended up getting the A7R4. It was like right when it came out. So this A7R4 I had for about, I want to say about 4 years now, 4.5 years. And the one that I have on my other side is one that I got as a backup, because the one issue that I noticed with these A7R4s is right here is the pull-out display. Right here, this cable gets exposed to the elements like no tomorrow. So if I'm shooting rollers and this is open and this is outside, this is taking straight up air, wind, rocks, everything. So definitely huge workhorse. You know, I'm going through about 500,000, 600,000 activations on these cameras just in the span of 3-4 years. So but I think both of my A7R4s combined is probably, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I probably want to say both combined in the 4 or 5 years that I've had both of them combined, I want to say it's close to about 1 million.
1 million
shutter clicks. Workhorses, I highly recommend it. A7R4. I have two of these. These are my backup cameras. The front displays don't work as they pull out, as I said, because these cables just get bad. So I just have to keep it collapsed at all times, which is fine. But other than that, camera still works. Phenomenal camera. I highly recommend it. Yeah, so A7R4, and then I have another one too. So yeah. All right, so next up, I had this thing for a long time. This is my Sony G Master 7200. This is the 2.8 phenomenal lens. A little backstory about why this was one of the first lenses that I picked up was back when I had my Canon days. My father, who was a photographer too, on the side from his normal career job, so he had a 7200 for his Canon 40D. And at the time, that was like the big deal. But every time that we would go to an air show or anything, he would have his 7200. And I thought that lens was so sick. Big, dual optic, just total. Delivered an absolute phenomenal picture quality. So he always had good glass too. And the one thing that when I transferred over, because I did have a 7200 Mark II with the Canon, this was the only one that was available at the time. And I know the new one of this is like half the size. I know they probably shrunk it to like from here to like there. So I know it became like a little grenade where this is like the bazooka. So when I got over there, the one thing that I learned is, G Master, having good glass is pretty good. I'm the biggest advocate on, there's nothing wrong. I know G Master makes some of the best stuff because it's factory OEM pretty much in car terms. But there are companies out there like Sigma, and there's a lot more. But I've just been, I pretty much only use Sigma and G Master. There's a reason why they make such incredible glass for a reason, and why the price is good. I've had this for 5 years, never had one single issue ever, never had a focus issue, never had an optic issue. I use these for a lot of up-close detail shots that you guys see on my Instagram, which is right here. Everything from logo to wheels to wheel finishes to interior to bucket seat embroidering, stitch embroidering, interior shots, just all the detail stuff. This thing is just a phenomenal workhorse, from the autofocus to the manual focusing, the 2-mode selection, and if you want the full focus only going up to 3 meters, there's a button right here on the side that controls how close of a focus it'll do. All around good lens. Highly recommend it. Next one, love this lens. This is my second one, highly recommend it. This is the Sigma 24-70 f2.8. absolute grenade workhorse. I love this thing, and I know I'm going to be referencing workhorse a lot in my terminologies because these things are just absolute brutes. This is my second one, and it's still going strong today. Zero issues at all. The first one that I had an issue with is because I thought it'd be cool to bring a 24-70 to an air show, and instead of having my 7200 or like a rented 4 or 500, I brought this just in my bag, and I actually dropped it in sand. And yeah, the sand, as much as I tried to get it out, the sand would not, it just was never the same. I still have it, I keep it over here on my shelf, but yep, nope, just was never the same. Maybe I'm just being lazy about it. Maybe I could just still fix it. Who knows? Maybe I'd have a backup, but I just have to get it properly cleaned. But 24-70 Sigma, I do this pretty much for all my still shots that you guys see. Here's some still shots right here. This is mostly majority, if not all, 24-70. I just think that this glass is phenomenal. I think the picture quality is really good. I go through CPL filters left and right, and I'll explain that at the end of the video, what my opinion on CPL and ND filters. Yeah, highly recommend it. Great all-around still shot lens. Next up is a lens that I barely use. This is my G Master 1635 f2.8. Great lens. I'm trying to figure out some of the stuff mostly interior stuff if I want some wide angle interior stuff, but in the automotive field, having this isn't necessarily a must. I don't like to shoot cars super up close because of the warp effect that it gives it. It kind of distorts a car's length or just anything automotive wise. Shooting anything less than 35 in my opinion is just not ideal. I like to shoot preferably around the 40, 50, if not higher. I like to have that really good sizing on cars when I shoot them. So my rollers are typically 24 to 30, 35-ish. So maybe I could argue that this would be good for a rolling shot lens, but anything prior to that, I don't really see myself going up to 16. I just feel like that's just too wide, distorts everything. But this is a good backup lens. If I'm shooting with models, this is a great one to use. This is just really good for modeling stuff up close. If I were to do vertical stuff like them sitting down in a seat, laying across a hood, leaning up against a car, and you just want to get a front shot, a quarter panel shot. Yeah, 1635, pretty good lens. I wish I had more field time with it. I don't have that much field time with it, so I pretty much just keep this as like a backup. The one thing about the 1635 is that this isn't optical stabilized, where obviously all the Sony bodies are. Because as I'm about to explain my rolling shot lens, I like to have a dual optic stabilization, not only in the body of the camera, but also on the lens. Kind of acts like a safe zone for me. So yeah, so there you go. 1635, f2.8, 24-105, best all-around lens. This is my third one. I love this lens. This is what you see that I use on all my rolling shots. This is literally the rolling shot lens. This is not the f2.8 or whatever. This is just a regular f4, because when I'm shooting rollers, you do not need to go anything lower than, in my opinion, 4.5. If it's really into the dusk, like right when the sun goes down, you're in dusk part, and you really only have 5-10 minutes, sure, I'll go to f4. But typically when I shoot my rollers, I like to stay at 5.6, only because I measure the distance between my car and the car that's in front of me. So typically 5.6, 6.3 is where I'm shooting my rollers at. In terms of aperture. But 24-105 I think is the best rolling shot lens. Not only can you do your normal auto manual focusing, which doing rolling shots automatic only in my opinion, but this also has a optical steady right here that not only will work with the lens but also work with in-body camera stabilization. So again, it acts like a safe for me. It's always because I'm shooting at such a low shutter speed, and I'm driving really fast, as you guys see in my videos. I just like to have kind of like insurance, know that the camera is working at its absolute best to make sure that it's delivering that steady quality. So yeah, my rolling shot lens, 24-105. I typically don't use this lens for anything other than just rollers, because the 24-70, which is better quality, that is the G Master. It is, in my opinion, just better glass. So just the better glass quality for photos is just really good. So yeah, 24-105. Now, as you guys probably saw in the Ferrari video, I had a special camera that, because I went through 2 A7R4s, I had another camera on order that my good buddy Phil, right here, Phil Riggs, I am PR, whichever one it is, I'm just thinking off the bat. My good buddy Phil Riggs, he allocated a awesome brand new Sony A7R5 for me. So here it is. This is my third camera. Welcome to it. Here it is, the A7R5. I've only used it on one shoot so far. I did not film a video with it yet because I wanted to get out there and just do some field work. So I can't wait to show you guys that on my page. I'm definitely going to caption it on the post on my page saying, hey, this is my first shot, this is my first shoot with the A7R5. So I'm excited. For the longest time I wanted that Alpha 1, but I know that that wasn't really meant for me. It's not, I'm not a sport photographer, motorsport photographer, and I'm not shooting something at such a high rate to capture, like basketball, hockey, football. Not doing any of that. So went with the A7R5, as you guys can probably see in the video right now of me unboxing it. So they kept the same 61 megapixel. Don't really think you need anything more, especially if you're an automotive photographer and you're shooting for social media, you're shooting, I do a lot of stuff with Champion Porsche still, so they use a lot of my stuff for their advertisement and their stuff on the side of billboards and stuff. And the 61 megapixel, uncompressed RAWs are huge. You don't really necessarily need it. Everything's so digitalized nowadays that unless you're zooming in post to really crop up something, but typically I don't really like to crop or zoom in. How I take the photo is exactly the length that I want it to be at. So yeah, so great camera all around. I loved how they fixed the cable thing that I was telling you guys about right here. You see this, so the cable's not there, but the one thing that is pretty cool is that it's not only that, but it's a fully articulate, so it comes out to at the exact same time, and that cable is there. So I'm just gonna do my best to make sure that I keep this protected at all times, which is fine because I just see myself keeping it closed like this. So now I have an ability to shoot the rollers and be able to see what I'm doing without that cable being exposed, because I do believe that cable is just like very fine. It's like an artery. You don't want to really mess with it. So yeah, so I have tried out the 8K video so far. Incredible quality. I just noticed a little bit of improvements, like if I'm shooting the interior of a, let's say for example, a Porsche, going from 4K to 8K, this is raw 8K video. So going into an 8K footage, if I'm filming an interior of a car, what I noticed with the 8K is that I could see the Alcantara pieces on the steering wheel a little bit more. I could see the stitching on the other side of the car's interior panels a little bit more. So 8K is pretty good. It was pretty nuts. I fully charged it, filmed some stuff in 8K, and it drained it from 200% down to like 140% in just 30 minutes. So 8K is definitely draining it, but it's okay. I don't really see myself filming full 8K stuff for you guys because everything nowadays max is only 4K, 4K plus, and they just sharpen it up a little bit. So yep, new camera, A7R5. I'm really excited to welcome that to the channel. I'm very happy I made the transition with Sony. I was Canon for so long, and I just love everything about Canon. Not Nikon, but everything about Canon has just been great. And then I'm really happy with transitioning over to Sony. I think this is my fourth one now. I have two A7R4s. I use an A7 III as well. And then here we are, my A7R5. Only shot it once, but I'm really excited. So here's my A7R5. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about ND and CPL filters because I had so many comments saying, what are my opinions on that? So how my opinion now is on CPL and ND filters when you're shooting automotive. I'm not a big user of ND filters. I think I have bad history with it because at one time I had a CPL that fell off my lens and it cracked, and I had to go get a CPL filter. So I went to like a Best Buy and I accidentally got an ND by accident, and it just made me hate it because you either have that full clear or you twist it, and then it just gets fully dark, and I'm just like, it's just not meant for me. It's just not meant for the type of style of shooting that I'm doing. I could understand having a full tinted ND, like you're shooting midday, if you're shooting people midday and it's just really bright out and you just really want to get that polarizing effect of both the sky and no glare on them, sure. But when you're shooting cars, I just like to dual polarize my photos, as you probably saw in all my videos and everything on my page. I love CPL filters that aren't too dark. Again, I dual polarize my shots, so I polarize one whole shot, twist it, polarize the left hand side, and then on Photoshop I compile them together. So I don't want to say anything too much, but out there are a lot of people that have made their own CPL filters, or that promote these CPL filters. This CPL filter is better than this one's better than this one. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is my honest opinion. I've made an 11-year career out of this. This is just me being honest. I'm not being sponsored, I'm not being paid, I'm not. Guys, when my CPL filters break, I'm not even gonna lie to you, sometimes I just go on Amazon, find the 5-star rating one that's $25.99 or $12.99, $8.99. If it's here next day for me because I have a shoot tomorrow, I'll next day it, Amazon Prime it, and it does the exact same job that the $250 CPL filter did. So maybe I'm just being ignorant. I don't know, maybe I just don't know too much about it, but in just my opinion, I believe CPL filters is just how you shoot automotive. If you know how to do it, if you know how to dual polarize your shots, Again, you don't need some fancy CPL filter. I think that's all smoke and mirrors. I just think it's all BS in my opinion. You could give me a normal CPL filter, a $300 one versus a $5 one, and okay, arguably, yeah, the quality is going to be different. The plastic, the glass could fall out versus the other one being some premium military space shuttle grade glass, sure. But the overall delivery of it, I guess somebody could argue saying, okay, the quality is better, but hey, the quality is better, it's still doing the same job, sure. So it's like putting together this is going to be a horrible analogy. Hopefully you guys laugh at this one. It's like having a 500 horsepower fully tuned up Honda Civic versus a 500 horsepower 911. It's like, okay, yeah, they're both delivering the same power, but you know, one's jerry-rigged up and not put together correctly, where the other one is made like that. So maybe that was a good analogy, maybe that wasn't, but in my opinion, when it comes to CPL filters, again, I've made an 11-year career out of this. I just go on Amazon, I just find the one that has the 5-star ratings, and I just go from there. So hopefully that helps you guys out. A7R5, A7R4. My other A7R4 is over there charging, not the camera itself, but the batteries. 24 to 105, the best rolling shot lens. This is my 7200 that I use for all of my interior shots. 24 to 70 used for all my still shots. 1635 kind of meant for more models, kind of meant for more interior stuff. So hopefully I didn't bore you guys. Hopefully you didn't, but yeah, wait, I still got one more for you. Rewind. Let's back it up a little bit. I'll show you guys my wonderful configuration that I have for the case itself. So this is my wonderful Pelican case that I was given to my buddy Sam Dobbins. This is his page right here. Mr. I am Sam Dobbins. He is a mentor to me. He is a Gandalf the Grey to me. He from the start, from time of me shooting to, he's been the wizard that has always been there to help me. Well, he had one of these. He was moving over to California to go work for a wheel company, and he gave me one of these, and it has lasted me, this is 7 years now, 8 years now. So I have, so one thing I love about him, you know, you just sticker bomb your case of all your travels. So I have everything here from my South Orange County Cars and Coffee. There's a good friend of mine, Liz. She designed that. Big Shot Rides over here in Boca Raton. Man, there's so much. RDBLA, shout out to Vic for that one. 000 Magazine, Cars and Cameras was his thing too. So much stuff here. I got Mr. Larry Chan, he gave me that. The NASA one. I got Chazzy from after we did the SP3 Daytona. Shout out to Chazzy too. This one is Dustin Williams. He did his little Godzilla one. Wait, hold on. Let me show you guys more. Let me close this so nothing else falls out. So this is everything else, as you guys can probably see here on my case, throughout my travels. So went over to San Diego, Top Gun, got a sticker there. Got a Supreme sticker from New York City. The Hunapig, that was pretty cool. I went over there to California, and they had the Hunapig there that they were working on. And this is before, you know, unfortunately, Ken Block passed away, one of my biggest inspirations in life in the automotive world. I was able to get that when they announced it, and then, you know, God rest his soul. There's a lot. There's a lot here. Got this at the Jordan store, Soulfly Miami, Porsche Manthey. When I did the Porsche Manthey track event, I'm going to be doing more Porsche Manthey stuff later this year. Cali Coffee of all places. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm a big Florida Panther fan, so this is when we first lost to, not we, I don't play for the team. First lost to the Golden Knights, RDBLA. There's Liz's stuff again, Rotoform wheels. Man, I got so much stuff here for my stuff from Champion. There's so much stuff here, guys. Just even there's a little Supreme logo for the Pillsbury Doughboy. NASA, more Cars and Coffee. That was the Zweck one back in 2023. That was Zweck, Miami. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, so if you guys have stickers or anything you want to send me, just comment or DM me on Instagram. I'd love to add your stickers to this. Kennedy Space Center. My buddy Danny, Mr. Green Goblin himself. You know, this Lowered Lifestyle. Give a shout out to them. Yeah, so Adams Polishes too. My friends and families over there. And then some last ones there. Big shout out to Dustin again. Went to Malibu, got this, some Grindhard ammo for good old ammunition down here. So yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed. That is my camera case. What is inside my camera case, camera bag 2025. Hope to do more of these as I add more to it. So hope you guys enjoyed me ranting. If not, you could just comment saying I did horrible. But before I word vomit, later guys.